It's taking me a little time to read this, but Mark Filippo asks us, what are your thoughts on wearing a kilt in Scotland? Basically, he's going on a walking tour, a hike of the West Highland Way this coming fall. He's going with a friend who doesn't really want him to wear the kilts because he's afraid that everybody will assume he's a tourist, and I guess his friend is feeling like it's going to be embarrassing somehow. Doesn't want him to stand out. However, Mark wears his kilt as much as possible. It's pretty much a normal part of his wardrobe, so he really wants to wear it for this hike. Should he or shouldn't he?
Sure. When traveling in Scotland, we'll do traveling as well as specifically hiking. You're going to be going on the West Highland Way. When did he say September he's going?
September.
Did he say when in September or no?
September 15th at 2:30 p.m.
Fair. I deserve that. The one thing to worry about in Scotland when you are hiking is the time of year when you're going. They have what are called midges, which are small biting flies, a little bit bigger than gnats, but they will bite you a lot. And when they find you, they will destroy you. So you want to make sure that if you're wearing a kilt, you're not getting midgie bites in the nether regions where you really don't want to be bitten by mosquito or by midges. So that's one thing. And I think their midgie season goes like summer through the end of September-ish.
Yeah, like basically all summer. It's like April or May it starts and it just goes.
Indeed. So bug spray is your friend. Now, if you're going to Scotland and you're going to be wearing a kilt, will you be seen as a tourist? Yes.
Sure.
You are. You are a tourist in Scotland. But I would say this, it doesn't really matter. If you are comfortable, now taking your buddy's opinion out of it for a sec, or your buddy's concerns, if hiking the West Highland Way in a kilt is a bucket list item for you, you want to do this thing before you die, you've always thought about doing it, and you want to wear the kilt to connect with your heritage in the land of your forefathers, and all that is in your head, then do it. Now, you're going with somebody else, so you don't want to be, dismissive of his thoughts on it. If it is someone who you've known since you were 2, and this is a long-time friend, and you want to travel the world together, and this is one of the stops, then I would say have a discussion about it with him. Like, sit him down and be like, all right, dude, look, here's the deal. I want to wear a kilt in Scotland on the West Highland Way, at least some of the way. What are your concerns? And actually get into it with him, because you're going to be, 10 to 15 days to hike the thing.
Yeah,
so
it takes a while.
If you're going to be hiking with somebody, you don't want him, anxious or freaking out about it the whole time. And you could probably find a common ground. Let's say you wear it for a couple of the days, but not all the days. You want to, I would say, definitely wear, the pants you can zip off to make them into shorts. I'd say bring, 2 pairs of pants or, a couple pairs of shorts as well as a kilt if you're going to be wearing a kilt at all. I would probably recommend a synthetic kilt versus a wool one, potentially, because for drying capabilities.
And lightness.
And that kind of thing. And bug spray. But outside of that, it's just communication with your buddy about it. Will you run into people on the trail? Yes, you will. And if you're in a kilt, they'll probably talk to you or ask you where you're from. And you're going to have a nice, friendly conversation, just like you would if you were in pants.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the people who are on those trails are tourists anyway. I mean, not just tourists from the United States. Scotland is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world. So you will have an international experience going there and meeting people from all over. So I think the as far as your friend is concerned, have the talk. But as far as his concerns about embarrassment, it depends on how you behave just as a person. I mean, the bottom line is don't be an ugly American. Basic rules of thumb that we will ugly American, that we recommend to people who are going over there is don't assume people want to talk about your kilt. Don't assume people want to hear your entire life story or the history of your family line back to Robert the Bruce, because you you're related to him, right? Don't impose upon them taking their time with something that they may or may not actually care about. And don't ask questions where you assume they know everything there is to know about Scottish history or clan history or Highland dress or any of that. Just be chill. You know, treat people just like you would on the street anyways. If somebody says, "Hey, nice kilt," say, "Yeah, thanks a lot." And if they ask you what clan or something, then you can say, but don't just keep it light.
That's where I was going to go. It depends on the level of conversation.
Right.
If somebody just walks past you and says something, don't usurp their time in the same way you wouldn't want them to do it to you.
Right.
But at the same time, if 2 minutes into the discussion, they're asking you, "Hey, where are you from?" "From the U.S. I'm from California." "Oh, why are you here?" "Oh, I wanted to go to the West Highland Way and see where my family was from." "Oh, that's awesome. Where are they from?" If they start opening the door to a discussion, and they're generally friendly people, found the same thing in Scotland as I did in Ireland. They all, as soon as they hear your accent, they want to talk to you about it. So just be a good representative.
Right.
And if they want to talk to you about it, then sure, fine, talk about it. But, that's it. Just be chill and cool.
Yeah, and don't bullshit people. And if you're a sincere student of the culture, let it be known that you are a sincere student of the culture. It's just, I had something else I was going to say, and I can't remember what it was. So it must have been really good.
Mac, you got something?
What do we talked about the kilt, wearing that or not wearing that. What about bringing pipes? Let's say I'm not Piper Alley, and I'm
you definitely are not Piper Alley.
Your beard is a little bit more lush than
I know.
We just talked to her on Zoom Monday, and you don't look like her.
No, not at all. But I don't have that talent as good as she does.
Right.
But I still want to bring my pipes along with me when I go on this trip. Or maybe I am as good as her and I can knock him out of the park. Like, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I'd be extremely careful with transporting them.
Yes.
But that goes without saying. And if you're a piper, you already know this, and you should be able to make your decision based on how you're going to, how you're going to handle that. The only frame of reference I have is our friend Sarah Jo Fegley, who is a drummer, actually, not a piper, but very accomplished and very talented, Highland musician. And she went over, and she was going to be wearing a kilt and tweeds, and she felt very trepidatious about it. But she got immediately very positive reactions, and because she was palling around with fellow musicians, she had a fantastic time. She had a great time. So I think the bottom line is, again, know the crowd you're with. Don't be like, I'm here at the junction of the trails at the memorial of the burials at Culloden, and I'm going to whip out my pipes and play. That's invasive. But if you're hanging out with other musicians, or if you're going to, like if you're going to Ireland or something, if you're going to a pub and it's a session, and you ask, hey, would you mind if I do a tune with you guys? That could be a fantastic experience. Don't assume that you need to be the center of attention.
And
bottom line.
Jumping off of your Sarah Jo Fegley thing.
Hi, Sarah.
Now I see. Now you made me lose my point. We're going to be losing points right and left. Too much caffeine. If it depends whether you wear a kilt in Scotland. I will say this. It also depends on your personal tolerance and your own personal constitution. If you are the type of person who is super nervous about it and you're not sure, and one errant comment, bad negative comment, is going to ruin your whole day, even if you get 5 positive comments, then maybe you don't do it, because if you're a little thin-skinned on it. If you have a type of attitude, this is what I wear, this is my thing, and you just go about life being normal in your kilt, then fine. The thicker your skin, the better you are, because yes, you're going to get called out to some degree on, hey, you're wearing a kilt, why? Or where's the event, or whatever. And if you have an American accent, they might want to talk to you about it. But you may, in the same way you're going to get the errant negative comment about it here in the U.S., you may still get it over there, like, oh, tourist, I bet. But at the same time, you're going to get some other people who are like, oh, how long you over for? Where are you going? Where are you staying? What bars have you been to? What restaurants have you been to? How long in Edinburgh? And people will want to talk to you about it. So you're going to get the same, like I say, and we'll bleep this later. There are assholes in every culture. It doesn't matter. You're going to get cool people who are nice, positive folks, and then you're going to get jerks.
Yeah.
It's life. It's
pretty much.
The odds are the same. Yep. It doesn't matter what country you go to. So if you can deal with it here, you can deal with it there. You just have to realize that there's the extra weirdness layer of you're a stranger in a strange land. But if you can get past that, and back to your normal, I wear kilts every day, that's just who I am, then fine, have at it.
I'm going to have Iron Maiden's Stranger in a Strange Land now stuck in my head
You're
the entire
welcome.
rest
You're
of the
welcome.
afternoon.
I did that.
I love that song. Yeah, basically. Back to the technical aspect of the kilt hiking. If it weren't for the midgies, I would say go for it, because you probably already know this, but hiking a kilt is fantastic.
Yeah.
I would question what sporran you should take with you on this trip. Make it a light one, make it the one you don't care about, etc., etc. Don't necessarily hike in, wearing the sporran at the same time, depending on how you're loading out. Advice we've given in other videos, basically, about hiking a kilt.
Yep.
The midgies freak me out, though, man. I hate that.
Or ticks. I don't know how many ticks they have in Scotland.
I don't think they have ticks. Ticks really freak me out.
Yeah. Nope.
Or if you're a little further south of us, then you've got jiggers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe a pair of running leggings, which are becoming all the rage, might actually be a worthwhile thing to bring just in case.
I wouldn't do leggings, but maybe like a pair of bike shorts under the kilt.
No, I'm talking like to protect your legs also, your lower legs.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I don't know. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But absolutely, I think you
Bug
should do
spray.
it. I think you help your friend realize it's going to be okay. Go for it, and then send us some pictures.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to live vicariously through you. Hey, thanks for watching. Hopefully that was helpful to somebody out there. Tell me what you think in the comments. Has there ever been a time when you were going to wear a kilt, but somebody convinced you it was a bad idea, and you caved and didn't wear the kilt? And did you regret it afterwards? I guess some of us have had moments like that. I've occasionally had moments like that, and I did regret it afterwards. Tell us what you think. The bottom line is you got to be true to yourself. You got to do it when you feel the passion to do it. If you want to get some more inspiration on doing things in kilts, check out our videos over here. And you can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok.